stall that tower, right? So Fisk going to try and take this fight on this left side with FLM, does win it out, but not before Slime does tap that tower, putting passive special charge in their advantage. Mikog hits that slide, does get another pick. It just seems like Retro Records is just keeping the offense so strong that it's not allowing Black to be able to set up and use their specials. They do get their feet on that tower. Face-Off does jump in on that bottom left side, going to use that hammer to get the pick on that backline, but not before Fisk does trade them out. A very scrappy mid-game here with this Crab being popped on tower in order to try and force the objective forward.
Yeah, you can tell that Black really wants it. Back where they were pushing forward, you know, all three players that were up, moving in unison. They're still holding mid here. They're gonna go in with that Reslider, just generally, you know, throwing all they have at it. Time is running out. We only have 30 seconds left in this match, and they have a very, very hefty, you know, score to beat over there. 8 points is nothing to sneeze at, especially on this map. They haven't gotten past that second checkpoint. So, yeah, so it looks like it's going to be really rough, especially as Retro is starting to move back in. Not only do they have to get off of the defense, but they have to get a really, really good push going in order for it to be in their favor. And, yeah, that triple really does seem to be sealing the deal. It's not over until that score clicks, but, yeah, there it is. Game 1 is going to go to Retro Records.
What a phenomenal slider there.
Oh, game 2, sorry.
In order to be able to close out that set. Now, you got to remember, this is a best of 3 a Swiss setting. So those first games, you do expect them to be the most uneven over the course of the tournament. I take it back. It is play all 3. I was mistaken. It's been a busy morning.
For shame, for shame. No, it's perfectly fine. It's so easy to get all those mixed up. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's still time for them to get a little bit of extra points. But you know, the set still does go to Retro Records. But there's no point in, you know, just throwing the third match. You still want it to count. It still does count. So.
It is Swiss, right? And so the descending top 3 teams from each pool are going to make it to gold, silver, and bronze bracket respectively. And given that the pools are decently sized, those tiebreakers really do start to matter. It's okay to lose a set, but if you manage to take that one extra game, it really can set you up for making that bracket that you might be trying to squeak into.
Plus the mental aspect of, hey, we didn't get 3-0, so if we took one game, maybe next time it'll be a little bit better. The mental game is always a really important aspect, and that little dopamine boost, that really hit of confidence, can set you up in, you know, not in just a pure numbers game.
And my general impression from that game was just how long it took Blaeksprutter to clear that bottom right area where the second checkpoint does rest. Retro Records time and time again was using that area in order to stall out that tower, keep that passive special charge in their advantage, and was just sending one member in, maybe 2 at a time, in order to spawn camp Black, right?
Yeah, for sure. We are going to be going on to Clamblitch Scourge Gorge, which was always one of my personal favorites. Not super popular among players, I'm pretty sure, but I've always enjoyed it. I know that Crab player, the player on the Duluth, is probably going to get plenty of mileage on that stage.
Oh yeah, not just that, but the brush as well on the side of Retro Records, right? I think we all have our beginner comp early solo queue days watching the brush player go into spawn and frankly get up to no good. I hope to see a little bit of quirky ink brush action here. We are going to be seeing both teams stick their respective comps, so not any changes.
Yeah, the more shenanigans, the better. I always enjoy watching Clanblitz compared to the other modes because it always feels like it turns out differently. So, Blaeksprutter, you know, may be able to, you know, pull something out here. Really excited to see how they are. Right now, mid to stall. It's the first, you know, 30 seconds in Clanblitz. Nothing has really quite happened yet, but it looks like Retro Records building up some clams. So is Blaeksprutter, you know, exactly what you expect.
And this Rapid Blaeksprutter is doing a lot of good work, providing enough chip for their team to capitalize on, but it does look like Retro Records does win out the 2v2. Rice goes in for the dunk, forms a power clam, but not before they're taken out by Fisk in that defensive top right position. The stamp is popped, but there's no one to kill, but Fisk drops! We do see Face-Off getting that pick, but not trading out. Slime alone on that plat now as Ephelem is able to clear this up with Pogriff chasing Rice back. That means that this push is very likely going to come to a stop, but we do see that Rice is dangerously close to forming another power clam.
And even though that push is over 50 points, within the first minute or so, that is a push that is nothing to sneeze at. It is very difficult to get in and get a sustained push going. That is going to be something that, it's really setting the pace, maybe shaking Blaekspruter's confidence a little bit, but, it's still plenty of time in this game. Although they are going down, although Retro Records is getting some clams up, looks like they're still kind of, mid is very well contested. I don't know what happened over there, all the way in the corner with that Zap player, but that power clam is down, which does mean that it's much more equal footing here.
Not for long. We do see that Meekog and Rice do jump in, so Meekog going to drop that clam, allowing Rice to pick it up. Face-Off goes in, tries to get the pick on the Zap, but Pogriff does survive that. Not before the Whale takes them out, however. It is just Meekog left standing with those clams. The rest of their team is down. Going to be taken out by the Rapid as well. I will say, it did look like Retro Records was playing very safe with that power clam that Rice was holding. Ultimately, up until they made that decision to drop. Blaeksprutter doing a good job of stopping that push before a lot of damage was done.
Yeah, but the tempo still is in Retro Records' favor. It's going to be Blaeksprutter who's really going to be wanting to... Oh, wow. Quite a lot going on. Looks like Blaeksprutter is going to get a pretty substantial push here if things go right in their favor. They do have a power clam going. It's all the way 60 points. Just a few more clams and they're going to be in the lead and really going to put Retro Records in a situation where they're going to have to start really not playing as careful anymore. That is going to be the lead taken. 45 points. Looks like it's all but over. Yeah, that's a wipeout, but that's quite a bit to come back from.
Yeah, but we do know that Retro Records is going to have that Mercy Clam in order to work with, right? Also, the Brunch player has a Power Clam as well, so they can pull lead simply by dunking this single power. Meekog goes in, does slide behind that snipe, does not get a pick, but no doubt providing some chip. We do see that Retro Records dunks that Power Clam, does pull lead, but it's just Rice left standing underneath the basket. They don't have any clams, and that's going to be a finished push for Retro Records. That first push really did so much damage, but when it came to the subsequent pushes, Retro Records hasn't been putting down the numbers.
Yeah, not quite. We still have a minute and a half here on our way. Special's going out. Looks like Blaeksprutter is going to be going down. They're going to be trying to retreat with that power clam, but looks like, Face-Off with that hammer is going to get some picks, is going to try to take up a good position, getting a bunch of clams in, and they're going to just further lead all the way down to 20 points now.
They do have that power climb. That's enough to KO the game. Rice has set up a jump. The Brunch player jumps, ducks in. That's it. Game 3 of our round 1 going to Retro Records.
Yeah, a nice clean through sweep, and exactly that was, that game really kind of demonstrated why their ability to switch from playing super fast to playing a little bit more cautious when they know they're in an advantageous situation. That really demonstrated, some really good decision making and team coordination there.
Fabulous control coming out from Retro Records, not letting their mistakes of the game define their outcome. Taking the set in a clean 3-0, and you got to remember those tiebreakers. You don't, even though the team that is going down in the set wants to try and take that game 3, it's important if you're the team who won the set not to drop that game 3, because it could be a very large difference in a format where we are expecting to have some tight tiebreakers after our round 4 in our group stage, Reef.